how amazing the receive is on this 2000.
That 2000 does sound pretty good, man.
Just an old, I think Screwdriver calls them the coffin stock mic.
Yeah, it's definitely working.
Nice. Yeah, no, you guys are sounding good too. Took me a minute to get it on frequency so I could hear everybody, but probably because it hasn't been ran in so long.
You're running one of them coffin mics on that right now? Oh shit.
Yeah, one of the coffin mics. A bunch of D104s here, but I don't know what pile the adapters are in.
Roger.
Think about an old TV with a sideband. Maybe you heat up a little bit. So they get like frequency stable. But that's just the way it is. The older CBs, if you're running a Cobra 2000, you're gonna run it on a sideband. I turn it on like an hour before, so it gets everything up to temperature.
Yeah, even my iPhone hurts a little bit though. Not a lot, but I noticed there is a difference from when I first started talking in the first half hour to, fucking 3 hours in.
Yeah, you gotta shake up the board a little bit, get them solder joints back together.
Alright guys, we'll get started in a little bit. It's a little hard for me to monitor the chat when I'm doing roll call. Wait, am I getting through here? Let's see. Hello?
Get the power supply back where it
Yeah,
should be,
I'm getting through.
Got it at 12.2, it's back up to 13.8.
So a little hard for me to monitor the chat,
man.
but I'll try to answer questions when I
That thing
can.
at 13 volts.
12.8.
Is this thing on?
Holy but Jesus, it is. Well, what do you mean by on? But yes.
Well, people are hearing me. Cobra? How am I coming in on the old Cobra 2K up there?
Sounds really good downtown Lewiston.
Oh, it's sounding amazing. And apparently it's sounding good downtown Lewiston.
She's a working.
I didn't know you had a Cobra 2000, there, Cobra. I can't imagine why you would use that more often. And, yeah, those are fucking awesome radios.
Yeah, I do like this one. I just didn't have it set up because I was using the other one because it was small, compact, didn't take a lot of room.
Sexy radio, they work good.
Alright guys, we ready to get started here?
Holy fuck, is it that time?
It is that time.
Jesus.
Show, go ahead.
Alright, well, Maine Sidebanders on channel 37. We are lit, live, and loud. We are streaming on all platforms. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Hell, we're even on Spotify, for Christ's sakes. So, even if you can't get on the radio, you can listen to us somehow. Well, anyways, yeah, we'll get started here. And I think, I don't know, I try to move it around where I start. So maybe tonight we'll go down to the south here. We'll try calling the guys down south. Maine Sidebanders. How about you guys in the state of New Hampshire? State of New Hampshire. Hey, 2020, I switched over to the quad there. You got anyone down there, state of New Hampshire? I copied 113 Gonzo. And I got Cyclops 2020 in Rochester. Who else? Anyone else for state of New Hampshire? I didn't hear anyone else. Did you hear anyone else there, Cyclops?
No, kind of quiet. I don't know if Triple 3 made
Copy that. All right, well, I'm going to switch back over to the Omni and grab everyone else here. Copy that. All right. How about Oxford County? Oxford County for Maine Sidebanders. Oh, chill. Hold on. All right, I missed that. Who checked in for Oxford? My fault. One more time.
333, Mr. Fix-It.
All right, we got you. Fix it in Oxford. Who else we got for Maine Sidebanders? Was that Pipeline I heard?
Yes, Mr. Pipeline in Rumford.
All right, we got you. Thank you, Cobra. Just double checking. Anyone else for Oxford County before we move on? I heard a voice. Was there anyone in there, Cobra?
I heard the end of the sentence, but I did not enough to make it out.
Okay, what do you got, boys? What do you got, boys? Let's go. I know where that's from.
I didn't get anything, Cobra. Did you get anything when I led that last call?
I did, but there was too much going on, so I couldn't separate it.
All right, we're going to do one more call. One more call for Oxford County. If you're not in Oxford County, please hold off just a second. See if we can get who this is before we move on. Go ahead, Oxford County for Maine Sidebanders.
Hey, what's going on, State Tribe? The land down under.
Australia, I guess.
I heard that too. We're going to move on. How about Cumberland County? Cumberland County for Maine Sidebanders. Cumberland County. If you hear anyone, Cobra, just jump in.
Maybe Cobra 10-5, but Screwdriver.
Yeah, I need the big 10-5 for Screwdriver in New Gloucester. Big time. Who else we got for Cumberland County, Maine Sidebanders? All right, not hearing anyone else. How about York County? York County for Maine Sidebanders. Was that MacGyver and Sanford? MacGyver and Sanford?
Not me.
I'm pretty sure. There's a little bit of skip in there, MacGyver. One more time, just confirming if that's MacGyver and Sanford. Okay, I got it all that time, MacGyver. Sorry, just a little bit of skip. I'm even here in Australia tonight. All right, one more call for York County. York County.
Yeah, I monitor this thing pretty closely, so I don't know who said unclipping, but it might be your receiver, Roger.
All right, Androscoggin County. Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders.
You got Swiper here in Auburn. I don't know how my transmission is tonight, but hello.
Yeah, hey Swiper. It's a little crunchy. I don't know. I think it's just maybe how you're getting into the amp. I know you're kind of aware of that, but it does sound a little crunchy. I don't know if anyone else concurs, but that's what I'm hearing.
I do concur.
I'll drink to that. Cobra Whale.
Thank you, Cobra in Wales. All right. Who else we got for Maine Sidebanders? Androscoggin County.
500 checking in.
Okay, 500 in Lewiston. Sounded good, 500. Anyone else for Androscoggin County? Huh. The Roger beep sure as hell had a lot of signal, but I didn't get who that was.
Is that Maine in Lewiston?
Can you say that one gun, Cobra? I'm not getting who that is.
He said maintenance man, Lewis said.
Hey, maintenance man, if you're going to be around in about 5 minutes or so here and we wrap up, sounds like maybe you're a little off frequency and you do have a lot of signal. Boy, when that Roger beep goes off. But anyways, we'll come back to you. I got to grab everyone else, but if you're going to be around, maybe we can try to see if we can give you a hand there, see what's going on. Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders.
Skywalker in Lisbon. Running an amp tonight, so I don't know how I sound.
Well, Skywalker, if you didn't tell me you were running an amp, I mean, not saying because of your signal, but I'm looking down. I'm not looking at the receiver. You sound fine. You sound just like you always do.
Oh, roger that. Well, you could give me a signal report if you could.
It looks like you're hitting S8, maybe tickling the S9.
Roger on the S8, 8.9. Yeah, SWR is a little high at 2.0, but anyway.
Nothing to worry about.
Good to know, Swiper.
All right, Androscoggin County. Anyone else for Androscoggin County for Maine Sidebanders?
Hawkeye, Lisbon Falls.
Hey, Hawkeye in Lisbon Falls. Thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Who else we got for Androscoggin County? We got quite a few of you guys tonight. Androscoggin County. Not hearing anyone else. How about Franklin County? Franklin County, Maine Sidebanders. I'm hearing a lot of skip, but not hearing anyone for Franklin County.
Just a lot of Australia and Arizona.
I know, ain't that something? All right, well, we'll move on here. Let's call Somerset County. How about Somerset County? All right, moving right along. How about Kennebec County? Kennebec County.
165. Sounded good. Making a great trip here to Salt Lake City tonight.
I think the skip all of a sudden picked up. It was like dying out, and it just hit its vinegar strokes or something. Kennebec County.
Over here in Augusta.
Holy smokes, there's Birdman with a big signal coming in from Augusta. All right, we got you. I was beginning to wonder if anyone was hearing me here. One last call for Kennebec County.
Yeah, you got Hickory down here.
Okay, we got you, Hickory. I don't think we've heard you on Maine Sidebanders before, but I think Winthrop, right? So you said Winthrop, not Wilton. Winthrop? I don't know what happened there. He seemed like he kind of petered out on that transmission.
Yeah, I said, how are we sounding? All right.
I don't know. It sounds like maybe you're a little off frequency. I can't tell what's going on. I don't know what you're running, but we can try to come back to you here in just a minute. I'm getting close to just about wrapping up. I mean, you're in the ballpark there, Hickory Nut. So, but it sounds like you're a little off.
Yeah, Roger. Catch you later.
We're just about done here. Kennebec County. Kennebec County. Last call for Kennebec County.
7 was away.
Oh, hey, Seven. How you doing? I don't think I've heard you in a few weeks. Well, glad to hear you, Seven.
Yeah, well, you seeing, Megan?
All right, sounds good. Well, if you're going to be around here in a little bit, we're just about wrapped up here. Another call for Kennebec County. All right, nothing heard. How about Saginaw County? Saginaw County. Hey, Clearwater, how you doing? I bet you got a cold beer going too while you're at it. How about Saginaw County? Saginaw County for Maine Sidebanders.
You got Run checking in Bowden.
Okay, I got Steel Toe, and I got Steel Toes and Bowdenham, and Runt and Bowden. I hope I got that right. But anyways, I got the both of you.
Roger.
Yeah, that's the beauty of sideband. I heard you guys perfectly. All right, anyone else for Saginaw County? Saginaw County.
Saskatchewan calling CQDX.
All right, how about Lincoln County? Lincoln County for Maine Sidebanders.
Dick Hurts, see ya.
Oh my God, we got Dick Hertz coming in. Dick Hertz from Booth Bay Harbor.
13 down there in Florida, you're blowing smoke, my friend. I love the bassy audio you got going on there. Good hearing you out here in Saskatchewan, 657. Have a good one.
All right, we're gonna try again here. We better get. I think we're getting an uptick here. How about Lincoln County? Lincoln County.
Saskatchewan, sitting by.
Well, if I didn't have 57 Saskatchewan blowing out my receive, I'd be checking in Radio Man, Mr. Paranoid in Waldoboro.
Mr. Paranoid in Waldoboro. You made it through, right? You came over the top, just like that classic Sylvester Stallone movie. We got you, Mr. Paranoid.
You're dating yourself with that one.
Yeah, but I know all you guys have seen that movie. All right, Lincoln County. How about it, Lincoln County? Okay, I heard Pack Rat out on Westport Island. Pack Rat and Westport Island. Let me mark that down. Westport Island. All right. Who else for Lincoln County? Lincoln County.
Where's Lincoln County?
Lincoln County is on the coast of Maine. Coast of Maine. Probably what we would describe as the mid-coast of Maine.
Roger on that. Well, your check-in is making the trip all the way to 657 Saskatchewan, Roger.
Yeah, 657. We're just about. We do a local roll call here in the state of Maine every Thursday night, and appreciate the report. We're all hearing you here. You're blowing smoke here in the state of Maine. One more call for Lincoln County, and I'm going to grab Knox and Waldo and grab the stragglers. Anyone else in Lincoln County? Nothing heard. How about Knox County? Knox County.
Yeah, copy the Columbus, Ohio.
I didn't get anybody on that. How about Waldo County? Waldo County.
Yeah, 410. Copy the 410.
I didn't get anyone there, so we're going to do the last call for any stragglers. This is the Maine Sidebanders net. Maine Sidebanders. Any stragglers anywhere state of Maine. Maine Sidebanders anywhere state of Maine. Any stragglers that would like to get in before we open it up just to general BSing.
There you go, 476 Tasman.
Okay, I got Tasman over in Pownell, and there was another station that got covered up by Tasman in Canton. I think I know who it is, but one more time that station in Canton. Okay, TB 505 in Canton. We got you. I hear 029 trying to get in there, and you got a good signal, TB 505, real good signal tonight. And I heard Floyd 029. We got you direct.
Maniac in the mobile.
Yeah, copy that, Floyd. Doing the best I can. We got a little bit of skip. It's not bad in here tonight. It's manageable, but it's a little tricky, Floyd. And just wanted to acknowledge I did copy Maniac in the mobile.
That was Maniac in the mobile? Holy crap.
Hello out there, Missouri. Hello, Missouri 585 Mongoose.
That antenna holds out.
Doesn't sound good, does it?
All right, last call before we open it up to whatever we want to talk about. This is last call. Any stations for Maine Sidebanders? Any stations, Maine Sidebanders?
265 Sting in North J up here in Franklin County.
Okay, hey, 265 Sting up in North J. We got you, Sting. Thanks for hanging out. Any other stragglers for Maine Sidebanders? Anyone else anywhere? Maine Sidebanders.
Station down under Salt Lake City 222.
All right, guys, I think we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it there. If anyone else comes in, we'll grab them. And like I said, thanks for everyone stopping in and hanging out for the roll call. And it'd be great if you guys want to hang out while we shoot the bull here into the evening. And I don't know if Maintenance Man's still in there, but maybe if he is, maybe we could try seeing what he's running for a radio, if you can get him a little closer on frequency. But Maintenance Man, you still in there?
Yeah, I'm on here. I'm running a Galaxy EX 959.
Okay, so you're on a 959. Do you happen to know, like, I can't remember. That doesn't have a frequency counter on it. Do you happen to know if that has, like, an unlock clarifier or anything?
Yeah, that's got verified. I'm on 27375.
It sounds to me like you're a little low on frequency is what it sounds like. I don't know how you're hearing everybody else, but that's what it sounds like. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert on the Galaxy 959.
Radio Man, that's like the one that I have in the mobile. It's horrible on sideband because the clarifier is locked out on it.
Okay. I mean, Maintenance Man, I can hear you. It's not a problem. It's just, I noticed you sounded a little off on frequency, so I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. You can definitely talk with it, but you might get a few reports when you're talking to people in Skipland that you sound a little off frequency. So I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's no problem. We can still talk to you, but I just wanted to let you know.
Your call numbers are 355. You have something?
Ginger Swipe, check it in.
Thank you for the
Okay, we got you, Ginger Swipe. And hey, no problem, Maintenance Man. You're more than welcome to come by and hang out and talk and ask questions. Just key up. We're real informal. So if you got a question or there's someone you want to talk to, just speak up. Everyone's pretty friendly here and they'll let you in. So I'm going to sit back. I'm sure some people have some things to say.
Yeah, Maintenance Man, you're high in frequency.
The paranoid's always a little high.
CQDX, Salt Lake City, Utah, 222. We're listening.
Flapping around a little bit. Go there, Mr. Paranoid. Haven't heard you in a little bit.
Eastern Alberta, Canada. Anybody copy?
Messed up. Mr. Paranoid, what's going on?
Well, not too much. What's going on with you, 500?
Oh, just hanging out there. They do the sideband night. Welcome to I call it the Friday Eve. Yeah, life's good. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. As long as that 222 from Utah isn't walking on you. You sounded good over here in Waldoboro.
Roger in the Waldoboro. Yeah, a little bit of DX in there a little bit, but it happens. All right, I just had a wave at you. I haven't heard you in a while, and I want to do the wave on you. 73 here, and Yeah, it's good hearing you in there.
500, sounded good over this way. Sounded good on that radio for sure. Making a good trip.
Hey, can you hear me okay? All right.
Yeah, 99, it's rough, my friend. Them DXers are killing you.
I was wondering that. Probably, yeah, I get top of the rain room real quick and clean up and working all day.
Yeah, I don't know if Hickory Nut's still in there. Could you still hear me, Hickory Nut?
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I'll try one more time. How about that Hickory Nut? How about that Hickory Nut?
742 Keystone State.
Freaking Hickory Nut, you can't even trust them. Hey, Hickory Nut, what's going on? Hickory Nut, what are you doing?
Sounding good, making a great
I don't know.
Tell me.
They're yelling at you. They're yelling at you. You don't answer him. They're yelling at you. Down in the water and stuff. Roger, Roger?
I'm Roger.
Yeah, hi.
I was running down the channel for you.
You operator Mike, and this end, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I got you. Like I said, that we're getting hammered on the skip pretty good. It's funny. About 8 o'clock, about 10 to 8, it sounded like it was dying out, and all of a sudden it caught its second wind. I was just kind of curious, Hickory Nut, what you were running for a radio.
Yeah, I'm running a Ranger.
Roger that 742. That little DX radio sounded good, making a great trip.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, it sounds fine. It's just hard to tell because with all the skip talking, so it might be kind of hard. But for the most part, you're in there. I can hear you. I can understand you. But I think I'm gonna have to hold off on trying to really listen to your signal. So we'll have to hold off here and see if the skip dies out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got a lot of skip coming in myself and rounding it right out there. We'll be checking in with you later.
All right, who was hollering for Mr. Paranoid in Waldoboro? Who was trying to holler for Mr. Paranoid in Waldoboro?
Sidebanders on a frequency that other people around the country are using.
Frosty up in China. There you go. Frosty in China. Is that what you said?
We'll stand by, World Radio 742. We'll stand by.
Kind of funny there, Mr. Paranoid. When you key up, you're on channel every time. Go figure that, Mr. Paranoid. Every time you key up, you're on channel. Pop.
Every time my radio's working good, as usual. But somebody was all okay. It sounded like Frosty. It sounded like somebody, Frosty in Rome. I think it's Frosty in Rome. Is that right?
742, I heard you. 742.
Negative contact on 521. UDX 534, Oregon State, standing by.
Who you talking there, Paranoid? Frosty and Roll? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing down here in Lewiston, yeah? They're all on channel.
It's only on here because some people can't get below channel 1, that's all.
Yeah, I can't pick Frosty out of the noise there, Paranoid, but I do got him logged in. Paranoid, you got your amp fixed?
LD Boss transistor, and I put it in yesterday, and it's back online right now.
Okay, copy that. Well, you're doing good, Paranoid. Just wanted to pass that along.
Sounded choice here in Auburn there, Paranoid.
I'm just moving it along right now again, back to where it was, not trying to push it at all.
Can't even get over here.
Sounded choice there in Auburn there, Mr. Paranoid.
Yeah. I see you too. And Swiper, I can hear him too.
10-4 on, we can hear Swiper tonight. How's this radio out there sounding tonight?
Sounds really good.
This particular station has just blown the pond.
Swiper, can you hear me, Swiper?
World Radio 742.
All right, sounds like a plan. Look forward to that next contact. You have a good evening there in Ohio. 22 boys.
I guess I can't talk to Swiper. I can talk to Ohio, I guess.
Maybe one of us will get lucky and hit some real long skip.
Swiper Paranoid was trying to call you. I don't know if you could hear him.
Oh, the skip covering him up there.
What the hell? Skip covering? How's my radio sound tonight?
That's why it was a bad idea to go back to 37.
Well, Paranoid, your radio is sounding very good. And if you want Swiper to hear... Oh, excuse me. If you want Swiper to hear you, wind that amp up!
Thank you, appreciate that, Swiper. Yeah, I did put the transistors back to my amp and got it working again, so I'm happy about that. Yeah, so glad to hear it sounded good.
We hear you, 505.
Yeah, I got a question. I'm gonna change my equipment around a little bit, and I'm gonna put in a Delta high power system meter. Is that gonna affect how far out I can go?
What are you putting in for a meter? Is this like a watt meter? What is this?
Yeah, it's a watt meter. Sure is. It's a Delta, a PSM 1000 watter.
No, that shouldn't affect anything for your receive and transmit. It shouldn't hurt anything.
Just I guess, do I need to put the bigger cable on it, do you think? Or is it just be fine like it is?
No, I mean, by bigger cable, what are you running for cable now?
There's LM400 coming into the radio.
Yeah, you're sounding good over there too, man. And I think 147.
Oh no, that LMR 400 is plenty good enough for what you're doing. No, you wouldn't need to change your cable out.
Yeah, and my power am like between 650 and 700, depending.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Any small jumper will be just fine.
Of course, appreciate that. I'm gonna got a new shelf to put everything on, but maybe I'm gonna get all my things for a
As well. Yeah, if you're running power, running a meter inline is a must. You must know what's going on with your system when you're running power.
Right, 10-4. The S1 was pretty expensive, and the N6 was expensive, so I finally saved enough to get something.
Definitely should have a meter in line when you're running an amplifier. If you don't have something in line, you don't know what's going on, and before you know it, smoke's coming out.
10-4, appreciate that, guys. Good night.
410, 700 Las Vegas Mobile Women.
Yeah, you too, 505. Thanks for stopping in. We're glad to have you.
10-4, I finally figured out that going below channel 1 means it's a whole different band.
Yeah, we try to come up here when we can, but, you know, with the skip, it gets tough, and, you know, but not everyone can get down below 1, but it sounds like you got it figured out.
Yeah, 10-4, appreciate it, guys. You have a good night.
Have a good night, CB 505.
Sounded good there, 505.
Anyone else in there that's got any questions or anything they want to do or talk about?
Yeah, I got one or two.
Well, have at it there, Skywalker. You got the floor.
Well, running this 2-pill on, of course, 10 meter now, on 10 meter band, the SWR rises up and down every time I modulate.
Oh, you mean, when you say 10 meter, you mean this band. This is the 11 meter band. Are you actually going up on 10 meters?
And you just test it with your carrier. Don't talk into it. Calibrate with a carrier, and then check your SWR. Don't worry about if it's a little high, because when you run power, sometimes you get a little bit of high SWR. As long as it's not into the 3s or above 2, I wouldn't worry about it at all.
All right, I heard you too also, Radio Man. Yeah. 11 meters still. So, okay. Yeah, dead key is flatline, Swiper.
Yeah, let me see if I got it.
Calibrate your SWR. When you go to calibrate, don't modulate, because as soon as you change your wattage output, it's going to change your SWR, and it's fake. Don't worry about that. Just do your dead key and check your SWR, calibrate and check your SWR. As soon as you modulate, it's going to change. So don't worry about that.
Roger, I follow you all the way on that one. So we didn't talk like now. Okay, now I'm going to talk. That pause right there is flatline 1.0.
You're not going to be able to do it on sideband, because when you don't talk, there is no carrier.
Right, yeah, I remember that now. All right, I'll try it on AM.
Yeah, don't worry about if it's a little high. You know, when you're running power, that sometimes it's a little bit higher than usual, but as long as you're not above a 2, even it's not above a 3. I don't worry about it. I've run 2s for years. I've never had a problem.
Roger. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Swiper. That clarifies a lot. Do appreciate it.
Hey, Skywalker, I got a quick question for you.
Yes, shoot.
Don't take this as me being a smart ass, but I gotta ask, because some people do it and don't realize it. You have the meter after the amp, right?
I have the meter after the amp. Well, funny thing you said that. Yeah, I did, but tonight I don't even have any jumpers. And the jumper that I did test out earlier a couple hours ago was a 3-footer, and I don't think it was newelled to a quarter wave.
Okay, yeah, that can be a hot topic on the quarter wave jumper. I was just wondering if you're reading the SWR between the amp and the antenna, or are you reading the SWR between the radio and the amp? Did I phrase that better for you?
Yes, I'm reading it off between the radio. Well, I'm actually reading it off the radio. So yes, it would be between, right?
Okay, so you're only seeing your SWR into the amp. So if you're using the SWR off your radio, you're only seeing the SWR between your radio and your amp, which is your amp's input tune. So you really need some sort of metering on the high side of the amp, the amplified side of the amp, so you can see what's going on between the amp and the antenna.
Roger on that, that's for sure. Well, I also introduced a new meter to my station, a Bird 43.
Yeah, okay, well I don't want to hog it. I know you said you had something else you wanted to do, so we don't have to beat that dead horse too much, but what else did you have to do or ask?
Yeah, well, where do you have the Bird 43 hooked up?
Well, not right now. It isn't hooked up, but to answer your question, Hawkeye, it was between the amp and the radio.
Okay, so you really need to put it between the amp and the antenna to see what your SWR is.
All right. So the direct line from the antenna, and then the other side of the Bird to the amp.
Well, I think the bird only shows you forward or reflected, right? The bird meter doesn't really show you SWR, does it?
No.
So yeah, I guess you could check the reflected to get an idea. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have like an SWR meter, I have one over here that you can use.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Really, you just would get what's coming back reflected. It'd give you an idea, but it's not like reading an SWR meter.
Right. Well, yeah, I've got a Delta that does the SWR.
And how many is that? Like a 2,000 watt meter?
Well, it's a 1,000. It's up to 1,000. The PSM.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
I've been getting real good results on that.
Sounded like Swiper was going to say something. Go ahead, Swiper.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, if you know what you're doing, with the bird meter, you can't get your SWR. But that's neither here nor there. I'll just shut up.
No, you're right. You can read forward and reflect it and then figure it out on paper.
Right.
Yeah, I got a chart that came with the bird. I understand what you're saying.
Does that kind of make sense? Like you're only, your Anytone's only showing you the SWR between you're only seeing the input of the amp. So, which, isn't a bad thing just to see, in case something goes crazy. But yeah, you really want to be seeing the SWR between the antenna and the amp. That's where you're going to want your meter.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm just waiting on jumpers to come in through the mail tomorrow.
Can you give me a 5 count and then flick the amp off and give me another 5 count?
So when I give you, yeah, I can even give you the 5 count now and then flip it off?
Yeah, you can. You're giving me 20 over right now. You can just turn off the amp and come back to me.
All right, back to you, and I didn't turn up my power on the radio at all.
Amp's still on, though. Shut the amp off.
Yeah, he dropped down to an S10 from 20 over, so it's working.
He dropped the S unit over here. And then DV up to like a 9S unit. He didn't drop shit for here.
Yeah, he dropped it. He dropped like an S unit and a half over here.
Sounded the same though.
Yeah, he sounded equal. I think he's got to run it right because he gained like two S units over here, and he sounds just like it with it off. So I think it's running right.
How about your end, Hawkeye?
Yeah, you went from 10 over to 20 over, so I mean you're hitting me hard, so that's why I'm probably seeing more than you're tickling my meter hard, so but everybody else sees a difference there. It sounds like it's working good. Yeah, and I guess the main point is that your audio, it still sounds good with the amp on. It doesn't sound crunchy or compressed.
Well, that's good. That's maybe because it's biased. Back to the signal. Skyrider said he didn't hear any difference.
Oh, that was 500. That was 500 that said that.
Oh, I stand corrected. Sorry, 500.
I didn't see no difference. Can you do it again? Back and forth? I just curious.
Yeah, that's with the amp off right now.
Amp on?
Yep, amp's on right now.
Yeah, you went from a 9 to a 20, and the audio is sweet. So, yeah, it's working good.
Damn. Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. But back to Radio Man and Hawkeye. I'll put the watt meter between the amp and to the antenna.
Do you have, is your power all the way down on the Quad 6? Where's your power on the radio?
It's about almost 10 o'clock, roughly. 10 and 11 o'clock.
Okay, yeah, I would just remember where you're at, because it's definitely working choice. It sounds good right there. Mic gain, power setting, jumpers, everything sounds real good.
Roger. Well, appreciate you guys.
Get one of those silver Sharpies and put a little dot next to the knob on the radio. I know some people are clutching their chest hearing that.
I'm touching my pearl necklace right now. Touching my pearl.
I heard Paranoid out there. It said, no, you super glue the knob.
I heard you. I heard him.
Why not? Just super glue them. You don't need to change it.
Roger on the super glue, Paranoid. Appreciate it, brother.
10-4. That usually works good. That way you're not going to change it. It works good. Don't change it.
Oh, no, I won't. That's where the super glue comes in, you know.
10-4. Yeah, it does. It works good.
10-4.
Hey, Hawkeye, do I sound any different to you?
No, you sound like you always do, pretty much.
Skywalker.
200 HD Carl built with a high and low switch, and the low switch has been off ever since I've turned it on. So I'm going to switch that on. Tell me if there's any difference, maybe 3 or 4 watts. And that's up, and that's low.
I didn't see any difference over here, but good for you. You got yourself a nice amp now.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I know you had one on for sale, but we never did connect or anything like that, but you were thinking about it.
Put it on low. It'll last forever.
That's right, 500.
That's a good reason to have that meter on the end of the, between your antenna and your amp, because then you know that you can estimate what you're supposed to be getting out of that thing, and go by that, and then you know it's going to last a long time by judging how hard you're pushing it.
Roger on that. Yeah, you can hear a click once in a while if it's up, the dead key's too high in the unit.
Does that amp have a fan, Skywalker?
Oh yeah, it runs constantly, even on the top. Even when you when it's cold iron and you turn it on, it runs.
I was just going to comment. I can't hear it in the background at all.
I think all car builds are competition amps, so it's going to have, the ducting and the fan work. So, yeah, he should be good to go. If he runs that right, it'll last him a lifetime.
Yeah, it's like no count amps are like Class C amps, and normally they don't have a sideband delay on them. That's kind of unusual. Class C amp, AM.
I guess I'll respond to a few. 207. Oh, that's all right. We'll get you sometime, 207. Hello to BS1, Bellingham, Washington. What a ripoff, Maine Lobster. You must not, be in Maine. Because like, man, obviously we get it a lot cheaper. I mean, shit, you can buy it right off the boat here, obviously. But, wow, that's friggin' expensive. I wonder where you are if you're still in there. How long ago did you send that message? Oh, it was only a couple minutes ago. Maybe you're still in there, Mike. Mike Ursa? Yeah. Looks like we got a lot of people on YouTube tonight, so I just wanted to acknowledge everyone real quick and say hi. I'll go back to the radio.
No, you don't need to switch me here. But yeah, like my amp is, I have a delay on it, but it is not my amp. It's just a competition amp here, whatever, I don't remember what it is, what classification it is. It's just loud noise. And that's probably, sometimes I don't sound quite right because if I don't stay on the audio, and it's because mine is not biased.
Oh, yeah, all right. 500 was in there. He was, you guys were doubling.
You mean I stepped on him?
I can kind of hear both of you, but, yeah.
QSK with a question on the same vein.
Go ahead, whoever had the question. Somebody said QSK with a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead with your question again. You kind of doubled with Radio Man. Go ahead with your question again.
Yeah, well, I'm running, this is Packard over here on Westport Avenue. I'm on a DX11B with a Texas Star 500B, and I don't know if it's been biased or not, but it has a sideband switch, and I put the delay on. Should I take it up to somebody and say, hey, can this be biased?
I do not know the answer to that.
So this thing technically is working the way it's supposed to.
You switch on for sideband delay, correct?
Yeah, Roger, which is Texas Star DX500B, which got the AM. It's, I don't know what it is. It's got a green switch for AM, and it's got a yellow switch for sideband delay, and, you know, that's what I'm on right now.
Is that just me, or does he sound pretty far off from frequency?
Yeah, he's 200 hertz high.
All right, yeah. I was just curious. I didn't know if anybody mentioned it, but it was it's rough to understand him over here on this radio.
Well, that's because it's a Galaxy and it's a DX11B, and this is like the first time I've keyed it up in, I don't know, 3 weeks. But anyway, maybe it'll warm up, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll just never get on frequency. But anyway, that was my question. Thank you for your answers.
You should be able to turn the course clarifier down and come down a little bit.
I took the frequency back and forth. It wasn't much better, so.
Yeah, the Texas Star amp does have biasing to sideband already.
Did you hear his question, Screwdriver?
I did not. I was talking on TikTok, so I'm going to turn my back to TikTok here for a few minutes and talk. I did not. Now I'm kind of curious as to what was being said. Because I have to bring this up as a talking point tonight about amps, but what was the question?
Well, hold on. Paranoid answered him, and let Paranoid answer him.
B off the shelf, and it's got the green switch for the AM or area power or whatever, and it's got the other switch for a sideband delay. And I asked if it was off the shelf a biased amp so that it was cool to run on sideband, and I believe it was Mr. Paranoid that answered my question and said that it is biased and it should be good to go.
Yes, yeah, they are all biased. The sideband delay is a sideband delay. It also is a medium on it for power. I didn't hear what Texas Star you had, but it throws another resistor in line for your power, so it'll, you know, it is designed that you push that in for sideband. It gives you your delay, and it also gives you a little bit more padding because, you know, those are built for single final radios for the most part. So it's built to just knock down the attenuation a little bit. are all, even without the switch on, whatever, they're all like AB bias or closer to B bias, but yeah.
All right, good deal. I honestly don't know what the difference is, but, you know, I mean, if it's supposed to be one way and it's not that way right out of the box, I should maybe have somebody put it that way.
Is what I was getting at, but as long as that's the way it's supposed to be, and as long as it's working, I'm good with it.
Yeah, which Texas tower was it?
A DX500B.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is the delay.
I'd say some of the 350s, the 250s, the delay is on the back if there's a variable, but you got your 4 buttons in the front. Great amp, for sure.
Gave that shit up 3 years ago, and
You sound really different tonight. What are you running?
I'm on the Striker. Different as far as bad, good. What do we got?
Oh, the audio sounds very compressed or constricted and a little crunchy.
All right, what did that do right there? I don't have a driver in line, so it is what it is. Well, it ain't is what it is, sorry. I can't do much with my power, so if my power is getting crunchy, but let's see if that changed the mic up a little.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Oh, yeah, actually, I noticed the treble wasn't even turned up, so yeah, let's see if that'll be better.
Yeah, that's much better.
Roger. So I just happened to hear this comment earlier when I came downstairs, turned the radio on as I was scanning up through the band. You know, I mean, for one, some people think they think a lot of themselves. But anyway, you know, I hear this all the time, and I just like to expel a couple of things that don't matter. Who says that an amp has to be sideband biased? What makes an amp sideband? I'm just kind of curious if people want to share what they're running for an amplifier. I know some people don't want to because, you know, the federal government's listening and there's live feeds, and I don't want anybody to know. But I'm just curious of who's running what for amplifiers and what's biased. Because I call bullshit on 95% of what people say about biasing amps, because I not only do not have a biased amp, it is a C-biased amp, so there is no biasing. I don't even have a delay on my amp. It is just a straight amp.
Well, I'm going to go with it just quickly to ask that question. The Class C amp, they go to the competition amps, they draw less amperage. That's the only thing I've ever heard. Because if you're going to do a competition amp and you're just basically going to run at AM amperage, AM actually mode, but you're running it on AM, and you're trying to put out a lot of power with a little bit more wattage, which is voltage, you know what I'm saying. Your Class C amp, if you run it on, really want to want a lot more wattage out, they're a little bit more efficient. I've heard the AB amp, they sound much better on sideband. Can I say that and have we heard it? No. But I think that's the theory behind it. This Class C amp, a competition amp, you can put more wattage out with less, you know, wattage. That's the only thing I think about it. That's all I can hear about it. That's just me.
that guy's literally talking stuff.
Just saying, not knowing. Get a comp amp and normally Class C. I'm thinking because bigger wattage, less voltage. Or wattage, I should say, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought I heard somebody else get up in there. That's why I paused. But, yeah, and I mean, you know, you are correct on, you know, pretty much all of that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious, you know, I mean, I hear a lot of people say that. And I'm like, well, what are you running for an amp? You know, are you running an X-Force, a Dave made, a Carl built? You know, what are you running for an amp? And does it have biasing in it? You know, not you in particular, 500. It's just kind of questions I was begging to kind of just wanted to know. You know, because like I said, I have been running a non-biased amp with no delay in it. So I do know if I pause my talking a lot, I can hear my relay click. But I am running a non-biased amp and have been for 20 years. And, you know, that's what I run right now on sideband. I get that right now my audio might be because I am underdriving it a little bit. I'm not on my normal radio, but Yeah, I have no issues with it. And I'm sure, maybe somebody like Hawkeye or Radio Man with a really listening ear could tell the difference. But I'll tell you what, I have listened to a lot of people run different amps, and if they are run properly, I can hear zero difference whether they're on or off as far as audio quality goes.
Well, I don't know what you're doing different tonight, but you do sound pretty good. So I don't know what's going on, whether you need a driver or not. It is working pretty good for you right now. And I know you know what I'm running, but I'm going to let the rest of the people in on it. I'm running 2 amps, a 2 driving the 16. Neither one of them are biased. They're just competition amps, Class C, I think they are. If I don't stay on the mic, they click and chatter and do all kinds of shit and get nasty sounding. But as long as I stay on the mic, they seem to work fine.
And got the radio on the truck, and I'll just,
Roger. Yeah, and that's my experience too. So I'm right there with you, Swiper.
I can sit on sideband and run it all freaking night. There's no heat. So they're just pumping your the voltage back up, your water's backing up. AM is brutal to these amps. Sideband, you're talking to these things all night, no heat.
Well, I can tell you, I've got a Carl built 4-pill, and when I ordered it, because I'm not running it right now, I'm just running barefoot radio, 100-watt radio. But when I run my other station 2 with my other radios and I turn it on, I wanted an amp that had the delay for sideband because I don't like the clicking and chattering, and I think that if you're anticipating that, it's always affected the way I speak. When you're trying to hold the carrier up so that it doesn't drop, I think it can really affect the way you talk. And I know that sounds weird, but I've never liked that. And as far as the biasing goes, I figured that was more of just like, because your power can spike up a lot more on sideband, and I figured that was more of just a buffering circuit to protect the amp from the power spikes. I could be totally wrong on that, but when I ordered the amp, I wanted the sideband delay, and I wanted biased for sideband because I like talking on sideband. There you have it.
Roger.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike, about the lobster. I'm not really following your last message there about needing help or something. I'm not really following you there.
And if I was to order a new amp, I would probably get it, and like the delay, I hear a lot of people be like, oh, it's just a delay, it's not biasing. And they are 100% correct. And I look at it and go, a delay is great. I just want to keep that relay from chattering myself. Like I said, I don't have a delay in mind, and I know for a fact, I talk differently on sideband than I do on AM, because I am looking to try to keep my audio up to keep that, I can't hear my amp. It's in the other room, but just trying to make sure I don't let that amp slap around too much.
Sounds good. I can't hear my amp either. I just go by what you guys tell me.
Yeah, you don't sound the greatest right now, Swiper. I can definitely tell you're not on the audio. So, for me, that's where I'm at. If you underdrive your amp, an AB biased amp or any bias, any competition amp is not AB biased. If you got a Carl-built X-Force, a whatever, it's actually B biasing. It's not AB biasing, which is not as good as AB biasing. A Texas Star is B biased, but neither here nor there. If you run your amp, if you're on the audio enough and it's linear, not that most amplifiers are linears, but if you keep it in that linear portion of the amp, in between that 60 to 80% of its relative output, it's probably going to sound great. If you have a 16 pill and you're only swinging up to 200 watts, probably not going to sound as good. You know, if I turn my head and my audio drops on this, I will sound like shit. That is for sure.
Does this sound any better there, Screwdriver?
Yes, that sounded a little better. Staying on it.
Yeah, I just turned the power up on the radio. I didn't realize the power wasn't up on the radio.
That made a huge difference over here, Swiper. Huge difference.
Yeah, the power was too low on the radio.
It's funny because your signal didn't change at all. It's just your audio totally cleaned up.
Friggin' perfect. Yeah, I was just curious of what other people were thinking. You know, I got my own thoughts on it, and I know I've voiced them many, many times over the years. And yeah, it was just something I happened to have heard tonight while I was scanning up here to talk. And I just happened to hear somebody, well, I can't run my amp because it's not biased, or you shouldn't run your amp because it's not biased, or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I would never tell somebody that, you know what I mean? I would say run it and see. I've heard many biased amps that sound like complete garbage. You know, garbage in is going to be garbage out no matter how you look at it.
Buffalo, we hear you. 73 orders.
Hey, Taz, are you still in there?
Yeah, it sounded good over this way in Waldeboro.
Yeah, I'm still in here.
All right, just wondering, just saying hello. Just welcome to the weekend tomorrow.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long week for some reason. Oh, we all know the reasons.
Yeah, we all know the reason.
Can't believe how beautiful it was yesterday.
Oh, the last 2 days, it almost made me feel sick.
Like get on two wheels again.
I actually went out on the bike Tuesday night after work. I went to play corno. I was on the bike. Didn't get home till like 1 in the morning, and it was a beautiful ride home at 1. It actually got warmer out as the night went on. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's
a full moon.
When you're not feeling good, you got to go for a bike ride.
Exactly. What better way to work off a sickness, fix it, than ride it out?
That's right, fix it. Two-wheel therapy.
That's right. If the boss don't like it, too bad. You got to know.
Did you see any deer on your ride home?
Jeez, I hope not.
I've just seen a bunch of them this year, and a lot of evidence on 295 of them not quite crossing the road.
Oh, roger on that. Yeah, my head's on a swivel when I'm on two wheels.
Yeah, you gotta be all the time, you know. The way I look at it is everybody's out to kill me.
Yeah, and those deer are going to be moving too, since the weather's going to change.
I like how he said almost made it across.
Hey, Fireball, West Virginia, how you doing?
Part of them probably made it, fix it. Part of them.
10-4. Good evening, Mr. Pipeline. Wonderful, wonderful. There's a whole bunch of people in here just yakking away. That's what I like about sideband. You can hear them all. Yep, 10-4. I heard you when you was telling the other guy that. I said, yes. It has been crazy. I've been actually shutting my radios off during the day because 30 dB of everything is just a little too much. No, my ears can't take it. Yeah, I usually do.
Alrighty then. What you said?
No, not at the moment. I probably could, but I have to figure out how to do it. I'm only currently streaming on Facebook and YouTube. So I don't go live on TikTok very often, and I probably should try to, but no, currently not on TikTok.
The striker with the Omni. I suppose I could turn it your way. I think you're probably like westish area. I was maybe going to try it out a little later and do some dicking around. I just haven't played with it. Nah. My Omni is still going to be my 95% of talking. There ain't nothing out there that's going to really beat my my Omni in a pine tree, truthfully. Yes, I'm getting a little bit of static from somewhere in the house, I believe. So it probably ain't gonna help me get to you any better. Roger. Yeah, you did come up a little bit going to the beam. Nothing crazy, but, my static level came up a little bit too. But your signal's definitely out a little bit more. Exactly.
Why aren't you using a driver tonight, Screwdriver?
Well, I don't usually use a driver on sideband. I usually just use the straight up ICOM. But I'm not on the ICOM, I'm on the striker, but my driver's fucked up. I accidentally a few weeks ago with my Texas Star, my 250, I ran it on sideband on this and it did not go well. I see some crazy power out, but I ended up toasting something. So I got a 350 in line right now, but the variable's fucked up on it. So I really need to, fix the variable. I actually got everything right here on the desk, but I don't know if I'm getting decent swing out of this right now, so I don't know if I know I don't need it, but I know I wouldn't have to have the audio cranked up as much if it was in line. I got this radio fairly wide open, that way I know it's peaking up good enough to keep me in the linear portion of my amp.
No, it definitely sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with the way you're sounding. But I was just curious, and I'm sorry you burnt some of your shit up, smoke out. That's not good.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was doing, but it was on sideband a few weeks back, and I was running this striker, and I was like, oh, it's not quite enough power. Because this striker, depending on how it's loaded up, it only swings like 30 watts, 35 watts. Well, it loads up like pretty good right now. Like it's loading up about 90 watts when I'm really on it. So that 90 watts going into a Texas Star 250 did not play very nicely. Out of my 16, yeah, the numbers I saw out of there were pretty impressive.
Yeah, I bet they were. You know, 500 was mentioning that he thinks the amps they run cold on sideband, and I'm like, well, they might. They run cold because, you know, they swing so much and they're not heavy. But man, I'll tell you what, it ain't easy on the power supply.
No, power supplies, it is hard. You know, capacitors, everything that's in them, it just, that amount of swing, that amount of current draw that quickly, it's rough on stuff for sure. You know, if you have big caps or, you know, a battery or something.
All right, Fireball, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
You know what? I've never, you know, I don't know, I know you say yours doesn't get hot, and a lot of people say it, but my amps, my radios, I mean, I know, I'm fucking long-winded, but I don't drive my shit hard, and everything that I've ever run, it is hot enough to fucking cook bacon on, literally. Like, if I lick my finger and I touch the heatsink, you're going to hear a sizzle off just about everything that I run.
Yeah, that used, when I was running my Messenger here, oh yeah, I would torture that thing. 'Cause, you know, it didn't do enough power for my liking, so I pushed it. But it took it, and, you know, I'm happy about it, but I did have, you know, I could fry an egg on that thing. But, you know, I've you know, the school of screwdriver, I've been to that school, and now I just baby everything I have.
Yeah, see, even like when I feel like I'm not driving it hard, like I'm usually babying it, and I just know I'm long-winded. But you know, it still gets hot. Like I don't care what you're doing for power. You know, I do one of my amps over here that I run. It actually gets hotter when it's underdriven. When I'm doing 15 watts out of my Texas Star 250. That thing gets way hotter doing 15-watt dead key than it does doing 100-watt dead key. It's crazy.
Yeah, when I'm on AM and I set that thing to 500-watt carrier and then get long-winded for hours and hours and hours, yeah, I'm sure it gets, you know, fry an egg.
I put a thermo switch in mine.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously fans help out tremendously. You know, I can't run any amp without a fan. That's the realistic thing. Even a small fan, like really tiny fan on my little Texas Star, all the difference in the world. And it doesn't have to be like a high-speed, annoying fan. Just a little airflow over it is amazing. My 16 pill, on the other hand, that thing will get hot as fuck. You know, I can go in there and feel hot air blowing off it. My whole closet will just get, you know, I don't know what the temperature goes, but the temperature in my closet feels at least 15 degrees hotter than it does in the bathroom, you know. It gets crazy hot after a couple of hours of me rambling on.
Thermal switch.
So that's why you keep coming out of the closet.
That's why I'm always coming out of the closet. I don't need no thermal switch. Fans are on all the time.
They're on fucking high. The fans are on high the minute you turn it on.
And I could go with a bigger fan in there, you know, I guess. It's only got 2 fans in the cover, but I could go bigger fans or higher speed fans because I can't hear them. They're in the closet, in the bathroom, you know, 30 feet away from where my radio is here.
Hey, if you have an amp, you don't have a thermal switch in it?
I don't need a thermal switch. The fans are always on. What do I need a thermal switch for?
Okay, say the cat comes over and sits on your microphone. Now your amplifier is keyed up. That thermal switch cuts the relay in the back. So it can't like be overkeyed, didn't accidentally hit your walk mic button on it, Got a thermal switch on it.
Shut the amp down.
And the heat sink can only get to a certain point, and it cuts the relay in the back.
Oh, yeah. Well, Swiper said you're talking about shutting the whole amp off. I don't care about that. Like I said, it never gets to that point or anything along that line. It's just more, it gets hot, you know, and like that, all of mine do. My radios get hot, you know, that 70, you know, granted my 70 is, you know, any 70 it is a heat magnet, but even my small radios, I bet if I feel the back of this striker right now, it's fucking smoking hot. And, you know, most people are going to say, oh, mine's nice and cool. But obviously, I am long-winded and I talk way more than most people. So a normal operator normally talking, I'm sure their amp is going to stay a lot cooler than what mine is, or their radio is going to stay cooler. I just, my shit tends to get hot. Like, I can feel the cover of the radio and there's heat coming off it, more than just, you know, the LED lights on.
I just checked the fucking temperature of my striker, and it's cold. The heat sink on it is cold. I can't say the same thing for my two pitlets here, and which I really need to tear it apart and clean it, because I smoke cigarettes in this room, and I know the fans are covered with shit. I looked at them, and they do not look good.
Yeah, I mean, good airflow is definitely a good thing. You know, the one that sits under the seat of my car gets stupid hot. And it's not because it's under the seat of my car. Granted, that doesn't necessarily help, but, you know, just everything of mine. Like I said, I'm just long-winded, and it is what it is.
I have a thermal switch in the back of my amplifier. If it reaches 145 degrees, the relay kicks. So now you can't key the amplifier anymore. So you actually let it cool down, and you have to reach in to push the button back down. You're not going to fire the amplifier again. Done. The biggest thing you don't want to do with an amplifier and transistors is overheat them. I'm just saying, not knowing, not with anything else, but a thermal switch.
Not that I'm all that long-winded or talk that often, but I've been running these RM Italy's, the KL60 into the 703, and I've had pretty good luck with that combo so far. It don't seem to heat up at all.
You doing what with what?
I'm running a KL60 into a 703.
And what kind of radio?
142. So the 142 is swinging 1 to 3 watts. The KL60 10 to 35 watts. Then the 703 200 to about 450 watts.
You motherfucking man, I love it.
And a 142 Cobra.
Yes.
Awesome. That's a fucking old radio. That radio is what, 30 years old?
Oh, at least. I had Rascal go through it for me. He did an awesome job on it.
Oh, okay, that explains it. How the hell that radio that old? Oh, recaps and everything. I get it. Never mind. It sounds quite sweet on sideband. A 142 that's 30 years old does not sound that good.
That's fucking awesome. Couple of KL. Fuck yeah.
I was a little hesitant at first. Not too many people, like, if you go online, has done it, but the math seemed right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I wasn't listening. What, we're doing math now?
3 plus 3 is 7.
Roger on that.
1 plus 2 plus 3 is... Oh, fuck me, that was too many numbers. Never mind. 20. A 10. It's fucking 10.
Well, the nice thing with this setup is pretty much I can theoretically run any radio setup, depending. I just don't run the KL60 if it's a high drive per se.
Yeah, those KLs, they're all biased for sideband and everything. So, yeah, they work pretty good.
So what are you running? You're running a 703, you said?
Well, I'm driving the 703 with a KL60.
Yeah, I mean, most radios, you're definitely not going to need a driver for it, but yeah, I mean, you should see, I don't know exactly what a 703 does, but you should see decent power out of it.
Hey, he's running a 1-watt radio. You know, he's running a Cobra. Some low drive. So that's perfect. Fucking 60-watt driver. Fuck yeah, that thing will fucking hammer.
Yeah, I don't know much about the 703s. I know I got one sitting right here on my my desk that I'm supposed to put in my car. So I'm going to find out. I've never really run anything for an extended period of time that was MOSFET. So guess I'm going to find out if they take the abuse.
I will say, I've been pretty happy with this setup.
And the MOSFET, they don't take much voltage or say wattage or whatever. They don't take much. Those MOSFETs, they get dead easy.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different things about them. I don't know. I can't comment on. Like, I've heard that they don't take that SWR. They toast up really quick. I've heard some people say they take more abuse. I'm going to go on the side and say they'll toast up quick just because I do know a lot of the radios that have the same finals in it that are in these. I see a lot of them back into the shops because the finals go poof because of that SWR. So I don't know. And then I've heard a lot of people say, well, they don't dead key much, but they'll swing more, or don't do this.
Yeah, we definitely got some talkers on here, Mike. That's why I'm kind of sitting back and doing some housekeeping while people talk.
You know, so I have no idea. I've heard a lot of hearsay. I've just personally never run one for more than one night.
Yeah, they're cheaper than transistors by a mile. They're like $7 a piece. And if you look at these radios, they have like they call the HPs and everything. Basically, they're running the MOSFET in the back of them. So like $8, $9 a piece. Not much of a dead key. They have a lot of swing in the front of them, but I don't know.
I don't know what mine's doing for wattage, but that 503 I got in my truck seems to do really well. With that any tone driving it, I have to truck it. I can't run it on high because it fucking wipes everything out in the truck.
Y'all were talking SWRs earlier. My SWR running through everything is a 1.4 on high power.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, my issues, not issues, but I will run up to a 2. And I can tell you right now that HD transistors, Toshiba transistors, will take up to a 2 for a match all day long. Anybody out here who tells you differently, their amp builder is shit. You know, I know they'll tell you to keep it under a 1.3 because that's the way they are, but I'm telling you right now, if the amp is built right, it'll take up to a 2 for a match, running it as long-winded as I am all day long. But I don't know if the MOSFETs will. Not that I try to run a 2. I obviously try to keep my match down, but yeah, you know, I don't know. I might throw this in my car and have it in there for 2 weeks and fucking toast all the transistors in it. I don't know. The good thing is I can replace all 16 transistors in it for like $30.
Yeah, it doesn't faze me at all. If I see a 2 on the meter, I don't give a fuck.
No, for the price of these things, you really can't complain too much.
Look at the MOSFETs, they don't actually draw a lot of current. You get a transistor, a real transistor, they actually draw a lot of current. The MOSFETs, they don't. They have the big swing out. So they're a little more forgiving. Transistor is looking for that current. Looking for that current. So they're not really as forgiving.
Well, I should hyphen that. If I'm running 60 watts and I got a 2, well, yeah, that's kind of a waste. But, you know, if I'm running 1,000 watts Can I get a 2? Oh, yeah, I don't really care.
My theory for it all along in the last 30 years. You can't run 500 watts, you suck. That's the tipping point right there. That's why I call myself the 500. If you got 500 watts, there it is. Above that, yeah, you get a little bit. Below that, yeah, forget it. But if you sit around right around 500 watts,
Name the people who can run a 500-watt carrier consistently. Name them.
it's all about the antenna, too. Don't want to say anything about the antenna. Whether it's your mobile antenna or your house antenna, the antenna is a big deal. And 500 watts. If you go to 1,000 watts, yeah, you gain maybe 3 dB. From there, you got to go to 2,000 watts. That's your main power is doing a freaking line to your house so you can run your amplifier. I don't think that. Just my opinion. 500 watts is a sweet spot.
My point, 500, is that you said if you can't run 500 watts, you suck. And that's not necessarily true. It's not exactly easy to run a 500-watt carrier and, swing up. There's not a whole lot of people out here that are doing that.
Yeah, so when you say 500 watts, 500, do you mean a 500-watt dead key, or are you just talking 500-watt swing? I'm just curious.
Along at 500 watts. Now you take that amp you have right now, pull it up to 1,000 watts. Hey, you can do no better. I get it, but that's what I'm thinking. Right there, that's the sweet spot. Right around 500 watts, good antenna. I still go directional if you want to talk any way you want to talk to, but
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, 500 watts to 1,000 watts, it's noticeable, but it's not, But when you say 500 watts, what are we talking? Are we talking swing, or are we talking dead key?
You get a 500 watt dead key. You're there. That's just me. You have the antenna. I mean, that kind of shit, but 500 watts. After that, 500 watts, you're dumping into your coax. There's something, at 500 watts, you're still dumping like 50 amps into your coax. That's stupid. That's a lot of power. Look at your coax. Only really 10 gauge. You're dumping 500 watts into that. That's almost 50 amps.
Yeah, well, I agree 100%. I'm kind of with Swiper. How many people out here do you know that are running 500-watt carriers on an average? Day in and day out basis. I mean, you don't. You only run 300 to 400 on your amp. I hear you say it all the time. So how many people out here are dead in 500 watts day in and day out?
Yeah, exactly. That's where you're at. You get there, right there. You get it right there. You get 100 watts, you get 100 watts, yeah, it's got. You're jumping 1,000, 2,000. That's stupid.
You just said, if you're not running 500 watts, you suck. And I just think, that's a little harsh. If you run 100 watts, I think you're doing pretty good. 100 watts is the biggest jump. If you can run a fucking carrier of 100 watts, you're doing pretty fucking good out here. And, that's the biggest jump. The next jump is you have to fucking go big. A 100-watt carrier, the next jump is expensive.
Exactly, stupid. 500 to 1,000? 500 to 1,000, that's insane. Now you got to double that, 2,000 watts? No. And nobody has to hear it. I could actually do it tomorrow and put 2,000 watts out between here and New Orleans. You'd never see it. Never gonna see it.
I just don't want you to discourage people out here, you know, because they can do 100 watts, and that's their biggest fucking jump. And they can do just fine with 100 watts, and you tell them you suck. So I just don't want to discourage people, because, you know, you run 100 watts, you're doing pretty fucking good. You're going to fucking get out good.
Go get an Antron, throw it in the tree, get a 100-watt amplifier, and you're in. The antenna has to be somewhat elevated, too. I mean, even though, well, a low place, high place, whatever. If the antenna has to be up. Gotta have a good antenna. I mean, obviously, but 100 watt, 200 watt in the antenna. See New Albany right now on an apartment building on the 3rd floor. Throw an Antron on the chimney, and yeah.
A 2-pill or the Boston equivalent, whatever it is, you know, whether it's 4 or 8, I don't know what the fucking equivalent is. You know, you're doing a good job after that, you know. You get one of those 201s or 203s, the KLV 203s or whatever the fuck they call them. You're doing all right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good night, everybody. Appreciate all the help out there.
Have a good one there, Skywalker.
Yes, sir. You too, Swiper and 500, and everybody else.
Definitely, 73.
73's to you.
73 Skywalker. Have a good night.
And then way up there. 73 Skywalker, right back at you. Somebody way out there.
Way out there, Mr. Paranoid. I'm in Waldeboro.
Wow, you are. I have to do a little ding, 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 ding on it, but definitely Paranoid. 73s. Damn directional antenna. Can't trust that they are Paranoid. Things suck.
10-4. Oh, yeah, directional antennas. Gotta love them.
Yeah, here's right there. 10 dB here. 10 dB there, downtown Lewiston, Paranoid.
10-4. We're just babying this thing along right now.
And you're on channel. Kind of funny.
Yeah, LG Moss amp. This thing just holds on really nice and clean.
No doubt. Kind of ready right now?
Yeah, it's an LG Boss amp I built, yeah.
Oh, I missed the what?
LG Boss amp. I built it. It's got 2 of the BLF 188.
Well, what's the radio, though?
This is my Yaesu FTDX10.
Roger on the Yakimo. Yeah. Hey, that's sweet. Sweet, clean audio right through it. Sounds really freaking good.
10-4. She's working anyway.
Oh, it's working. Got lines on my TV. I tried to watch Biden and Harris over here. What the fuck? Just saying. Probably not politically correct, but I'm sorry.
Thank God.
I was gonna say, I don't doubt it.
I'm gonna do that one there. Thank God there, Paranoid.
10-4, and thank God for Trump. Yes, sir. We'll get this country back on track here very soon.
I do have a copy on 2247. Yes, I do. Roger, where are you? Roger, next to Paranoid. Yeah, I'm down here downtown Lewiston. I know you're next to Paranoid. Give me actually a pretty decent signal. I still haven't figured out where you are.
Boy, in the last probably last week I've been hearing last week lately. Real good.
Roger and Guilford. There we go. Give me a piece of it. Yep, it's sounding good. Downtown Lewiston, about 3 SQS maybe? Roger, Roger. So there, brother. Talk to you later. Yep. Thank you.
Temple 500, that was Packrat out on Westport Island.
Roger, Westport Island. I can hear him right here downtown Lewiston. Oh, my God.
10-4 on that Packrat. He does a good job from the Westport Island for sure.
Got a beam? I was thinking probably an Omna, right?
I think he's just running an Omni. What do you
Breaker.
Packrat?
Testing out a new hand mic on the Cobra here.
Yeah, it's a 5/8 wave something, yeah. Cheap one, he says.
Yeah, I heard it. A ground plane near Paranoid. He's running a ground plane, probably a 5/8 ground plane. 1498. Yeah. Right here, downtown Lewiston. That's funny shit right there.
That bull, the Packrat. Well, you been talking to Skip Packrat lately, or what's been going on Westport Island?
I've been trying to call my days off, but, you know, I haven't been doing much.
10-4 on that, yes, sir. Yeah. Well, you sounded good over here. That radio is definitely on frequency and sounded good. Alrighty, absolutely. No, you sounded good over here in Waldoboro, that's for sure.
He is dead ass on channel, though. Paranoid, you tell him he's dead ass on channel. He's not down Lewiston right now. He is dead ass on channel. But it's kind of different tonight, because half the people on here.
CQDX 108, Spokane, Washington, stand by.
Roger, Roger, on the side, downtown Lewiston. Drive down to Lewiston, go to Sabata Street. And I'm by the Hannaford. That's how far I'm for you.
That's funny.
I'm down here in Lewiston by the Hannaford on Sabata Street. Roger, Roger? Bump, bump. Bump.
Good evening, Floyd from the Bog. What's going on? Yeah, good evening there, Floyd. Nice to hear you from the Bog.
I talked over each other.
10-4, talked over each other. There you go. Nice to hear you, Floyd from the Bog. Oh, yeah, Roger, Roger. Absolutely. Right back at you. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. I'm going to be backing down out of here very soon myself.
Just say funny shit. I can get this Paranoid radio. There's local traffic. Down here in Lewiston, I can actually get into Paranoid radio. Uh-oh.
10-4. Uh-oh. Mr. Paranoid. The Paranoid Bud Duck wearing a straitjacket.
I could 10-5 for you, Paranoid, if I have to.
10-4. No, I get pretty good ears out here in the country. I can really hear pretty good out here.
I'm listening to your traffic. It's kind of funny. I'm listening to your traffic from way down here in Lewiston. It's kind of funny.
500, did he need me to 10-5 for you?
He did. Oh, he did. Hanging on it. What?
Stand by.
Yeah, I missed him.
All I heard was 108 Spokane, Washington.
Bump, bump. I did that when you went away. I heard you, bump, bump. I'll do a bump up again. We gotta go away. It's kind of getting like day now, so I have to do it. Downtown Wilson, haven't even.
Hey guys, I'm gonna check out of here. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good one, Swiper. Hey, have a good one.
Yeah, I guess it's time Mr. Paranoid to get out of here as well. Roger, Roger. Floyd, up there in the Bulge and Mercer. Nice to talk to you, Floyd. Have a good night. That's
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure? I figured it's either that or we can't hear him, one or the other. friggin' pipeline. What the? Who's that Floyd doing? I heard Floyd out there. How you doing, bud? Roger. Trying to figure out what direction you are. I just looked to the beam and trying to see if you're closer towards this direction. Yeah, I think I got you pretty close. I mean, your signal came up a dB or so, but so did my static. So it didn't. I got something in my house that's giving me a little bit of static, which I've always had. You know, my antenna's usually far enough away that's not a problem. This one just happens to be a little bit more temperamental. I was hoping we went up higher, it wouldn't be an issue, but it's not as bad, but it's still not amazing. What'd I do? I mean, it can be tricky if you follow the measurements for all of your elements and the spacing. Really, it's just adjusting the gamma. It's just up and down. You have two different places you can adjust the gamma. One's with the strap, one's with how much goes in and out. All it is like a variable capacitor. So it's not bad. My horizontal on it is really bad. I'm up to about a 2. And I didn't check it before I put the antenna up because I don't know, I never even had it hooked up. So I might drop it down this weekend or next weekend just to adjust my my horizontal gamma. But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, realistically, I put this thing together. I got it used back in, right after the ice storm. I got it used from the ice storm, so back in like 97, 98, something like that. I pulled it off the tower broke. All I've done is put it together. Guess where it was? I pulled the elements out, and I've never remeasured the elements. I've never taken apart the boom. I've put this antenna together on 3 different locations, and all I've done is slide the elements in and just start talking. I've never adjusted the gamma. I've never adjusted an element. Never checked the measurements. I just put it in and go and see what happens. I like to wing a lot of stuff in my life. I like living on the edge, I tell you.
That's right.
That's right. You have any plans on maybe putting up like a horizontal wire before winter gets over there or anything for some winter DX?
All right, guys, on YouTube and Facebook, I got to shut it down and call it a night. I got work tomorrow, so thanks for everyone that came by and hung out and stopped by, but I got to shut the feed down and head to bed. Thank you.